Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about how to get water out of your water heater in an emergency. So like most of us, I'm sure you've been watching the coverage of the flooding in Texas and watching what people are charging for water, outrageous prices for water cases and water bottles. This right here is an interesting way that most people don't think about to get some water out of your water heater. And you notice I don't call it a hot water heater, because how do you heat hot water? Anyway, the first steps of this are pretty simple. Mine's an electric, yours may be a gas or electric, but beforehand, now is a good time when there's no emergency to figure out how to disconnect it. Okay? Mine, I have a breaker box on the side of my house that I will go out, and it's numbered already. I know which two breakers run that, and I shut them off because you don't want it running after you've drained all the water out of it, because you can cause a fire or damage or anything, you know. So you kind of want to let the thing sit, cool down, turn off, and then you're ready to go. Now, your next step, and I'm going to have to move the camera for this one, is to turn off your cold water flow into your house. Okay? Out of your house, I'm sorry, into your tank. Up there at top, all the way at the top, you'll see a red handle. See that red handle, that red turning handle there on top of the copper pipe? That is the water flow bringing the cold water into the water tank. You're going to want to shut that off for a couple of reasons. First of all, you don't want it to keep filling when you're done with it. Second of all, you don't know if your water service has been compromised. In a situation like a flood or some kind of disaster like that, your water service may already been compromised. What's in your tank may be fine, but what's outside may not be. So you want to make sure that's shut off. Your next step is pretty simple, and we're going to move the camera around. I'm going to show you how to open up your water tank on the bottom there, and we'll go from there. Alright, once you're sure that there is no power going to your heater anymore, and there's no water coming into it, this is your next step. And as I said before, now is a good time to get out there, figure out what breakers, figure out where your shut-off valve may be for your gas if you have a gas water heater. Usually they're located on the side up top there. It's a good time to practice this now. Now I'm not going to turn all this stuff off for one reason. It's going to keep filling up with water, so I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to be draining it completely. But and to test it, if you're just testing this part here that we're going to do, you don't really need to shut everything off either. But it is good to know where that stuff is ahead of time. So your first step is going to be connecting some kind of a hose. I recommend these little RV hoses. They're supposedly drinking safe. I don't know. I drank out of a hose when I was a kid. I never had drinking safe hoses. But you just want to connect it here, okay? So I'm going to screw this on, whoops, as best I can. There we go. When I did this before to make sure it fit, it went on so much easier. Alright, you want to make sure that's good and tight because you don't want water spraying everywhere. Once that's done, you're going to need a bucket or something to collect the water with. What I like to do is use just a 5-gallon bucket I know is clean, and I'm going to place it down. Actually, let's see if that's in the camera. Yeah, that's in the camera. I'm going to place it here. You can place it below. Below would probably make more sense if you were doing this on your own. As a matter of fact, let's do it below. Let's just put it down there. Alright. Now your next step is kind of, again, dependent on what kind of water heater you have. You'll notice over here, mine is slotted for a screwdriver. Yours may have a handle on it. Yours may need a wrench, and I probably could use this wrench, but I'd scratch it up and there's really no point to doing that. So what I'm going to do is use, like they say, a wrench to go in here, a screwdriver, I'm sorry, to go in here, and slowly turn it. Remember, this is under a lot of pressure. Okay? You can hear it flowing. You're going to see it flowing in a second. And there's your water. Okay? Now, of course, I'm going to shut that right off because I don't want that to get good and tight. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to shut that off, and I'll show you what comes out. Let's get this up here. There's your water. Perfectly safe to drink. Now, if there are some questions whether some contaminants got into your tank, you can filter this. There's no reason not to filter it, unless you're in a rush to drink because you're absolutely dying of thirst. Another thing you want to think about is, this is right in the right temperatures for Legionella and other diseases to kind of percolate. So it might be a good idea to filter your water after you're taking it out. However, when you're taking a shower, let's face it, this water gets in your mouth. It gets all over you. So, if you're washing dishes, you're washing the food, you eat plates you eat food off of with it. So chances are it's fine. Also, too, when you turn this on for the first time, there might be some sediment at the bottom of your tank. So this might be kind of cloudy and nasty water. Let it drain maybe a third of a gallon. Get all the sediment out. There's no sediment in that. There is a little piece of stuff floating there that's my fault. It's a piece of cat fur, actually. But other than that, perfectly safe to drink. This is cold water. Tastes just like regular water. That's cold water. Because this tank is the cold holding water and it heats it up and sends it back to the house that way. But sometimes it might come out very hot, depending on your unit. This is stuff you want to know ahead of time. So anyway, that's a pretty simple thing. I'll give you a little look back here to everything we used. Pretty simple. And you got about 30 to 50 gallons. This is a 50-gallon tank here. 30 to 50 gallons worth of emergency water you never even knew you had, ready for your use. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you guys later.